And we're back, people, just for just a moment, though, to kind of like, finish up where we started. I appreciate everybody's patience working through the kinks and of the technical difficulties. That's the fate of what they call BAM, broke tail media. You have to be you're your own editor, your own researcher, your own everything. So problems come up, you got to fix them or figure out something out. So we're sorry for that. We're gonna go and try to hurry through these last few games and give you all the content and whatever. But uh, so we finished up on uh, the 12 o'clock games. We finished up. We got one more 12 o'clock game, and it's we fit. Oh yeah. We finished up with the Patriots. We both picking the Patriots. Last, it's really the first of the 12 o'clock games. It's a game I always leave for last when it's in that window. It's gonna be the Cowboys at the Atlanta Falcons. And everybody knows I bleed blue and silver with the Cowboys, but the Cowboys got a lot of things that's going on with them that don't have nothing to do with the actual game that's on the field. It's the game that's going on at the cash register. It's the game that's going on social media. It's the game that's going on in all these other areas. And if we got anything left over, we may try to play some football. So that's kind of the mindset we kind of got. Cowboys coming off that loss to the 49ers, which was disappointing from the simple fact that the 49ers offensively were about as depleted as you're going to find them being. And even with that, Kyle Shanahan was able to draw up enough plays, enough schemes, enough mismatches to get a dub. And we weren't able to counter. We kind of made the game a little closer than the score ended closer. It's not as close as the score indicated, although we did get the ball back with 3.5 minutes to go. And for some reason, Mike McCarthy acted like it was 30 seconds left in the game, but whatever. It's whatever. And we didn't win it, so it's 30-24. So now we go to Atlanta, a team that's really, they're playing well right now, man. They got, I mean, probably the weakest part of that team, maybe the offensive line. Kirk Cousins is playing well after a slow start. They got good receivers. Drake London, Darnell Mooney, Kyle Pitts, running backs, Bijan, and what's the other kid's name? What's the other kid's name? TK
Tyler Algier.
Algiers. Yeah, Algiers. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
nice 1-2 punch. One dude's more thunder, one's more lightning, and Bijan Robinson just an every kind of down back you want to be. Can run it, can catch it, block it, can do it all. He's everything. He does all the stuff. And I just don't know what we're doing offensively or defensively. And throw some numbers at you. Cowboys are last in the league in rushing the ball at 76 yards a game. They have given up 18 sacks, which is 20th in the league. And they defensively give up 155 yards on the ground, which is 32nd and last. They're also a dead last in wide receiver separation mode, which means how much separation a receiver has when the quarterback's trying to find him on pass patterns. A lot of times that speaks to uh, receivers not running their routes well. It sounds like some Troy Aikman was saying, or it speaks to your coordinator not designing plays well to get or scheme guys open. Either one, the result's still the same. I don't see it. I don't see no avenue aside from the Falcons turning the ball over 2-3 times. I see no avenue. Now this is a first. You never see me picking against the Cowboys, but I got to pick with my football intellect and not with my heart. I don't see no way, no avenue by which the Cowboys win this game. Falcons are gonna win the game, and they favor about 3.5. I think it might be more than that. I just don't see how they cover all the guys. We do know that Micah will not play. We do know that Deron Bland, whose practice window is closed, and so to keep him from going back to the IR, they kept him on the 53, but he won't play today. He won't play tomorrow. And so I don't see no avenue where they win. So you never hear me pick against the Cowboys. I always think they got to stop. They got to stop. They got to stop. Falcons win.
All right, man. Well, yeah, I'm on the other side too, man. I got the Falcons, so
Yeah, I don't. You know. And all the cowboy people that follow me or whatever, they're like, man, that's like, man, I'm looking at, I'm reading the tea leaves, bro. I'm reading the tea leaves. There's nothing is going right. Dak's not having a good season. It's not, he's set up to not have a good season because their talent is pulled for him. They're not going to make any moves come next Tuesday. They're going to ride this thing to the ground. And they looking forward to next season when they got roll at $20 million they got this year into next year. They got 35 players that are on 1 year deals, probably assign 5 of them. The other 15 or 20 are gold. They'll take some of that money. They'll probably have about $100 million of cap money. They'll have about 6 picks, and they'll have about 5 compensatory picks. They'll have about they'll have their normal 7 picks, and they'll have about, 5 compensatory picks. So they'll have about 11, 12 picks. So they're throwing all that. So that's their all in. They all in for next year. So we'll see how that goes. So I got the foul.
yeah, yeah,
All
man.
in, man. All in.
Yeah, rough season for the Titans and Cowboys, man, but a little different circumstances, but still disappointing nonetheless. But yeah, man, you kind of hope Dallas comes to play because I mean it's in Atlanta, it's indoors.
Yeah.
Atlanta's susceptible to the pass because
Yep.
they can't always get to the quarterback consistently enough and create pressure. So
They
you
got
would
they
think,
got they got 6 sacks in 7 games, 8 games. Yeah.
so you would think in that scenario, you would think with Dallas dropping back and passing as much as they like to, this may be a matchup where they could see some success. You kind of got to get other people involved to open up, opportunities for CDs, so it's kind of not forced. So it's a game where your Jalen Tolberts and Cavante Turpins become real important
Yeah.
in terms of being able to, create opportunities for themselves. Jake Ferguson, over the scene.
Yeah.
We'll see, man. We'll see, man.
Oh, now they slip and get a dub on this, man. I'm going live right after the game and say, hey man, I was wrong, man. I was wrong. I'll break out the pom poms. I just don't see it, man. I just
No, all that said, I definitely don't think they're going to win, but at least put some points on the board. And, let's try not to have too many games where we're getting soundly rumped in
yeah,
one season, man. Um, and I've been hearing it in media channels throughout the week, and so I do think there'll be something to it. There's the Mike Zimmer, Kirk Cousins element to this, to where Falcons may try to run it up a little bit. So there's also something to keep in mind here. If it start getting out of hand and you start seeing passes still being thrown downfield, you know,
hey man.
yeah,
The lines were still running trick plays up 40 to whatever. I mean, it happens that way when certain people in the organization make your organization not likable.
yeah,
Kind of makes it that way. And people kind of make fun of, look at the Cowboys work for all that money and got 40 burger. Hey man, it's life, man. It's the life. We got the
hey
Falcons
man,
winning that one. We got the Falcons winning that one. I ain't gonna belabor it. I
yeah,
ain't gonna beat this dead horse to death. That's all. That's all that. So 3 o'clock games. 3:05, we got the Bears at the Cardinals. That should be a fun game through the quarterback play. Number one picks, Heisman Trophy winners, all that good stuff. Uh, Bears pulling defeat out of the hands of victory last week. The Cardinals kind of doing the same thing last week against the Dolphins. This should be a one of the funner games of the evening. I kind
Yeah,
of like this game. I
I
like this
like
game. I
this
should have put a
game.
star by it.
I like this game.
The Cardinals are favored by 2. Uh, I'm gonna go the other way, man. I think the Bears, got a little egg on their face last week. The Bears do have a good sound defense, and I was watching that game. The Commanders was having problems moving the ball on them. They got a couple of plays, a couple of deep shots early, but for the most part, man, the Bears kind of controlled them, man. They kind of you know they didn't really didn't get a lot of and so that defense is pretty sound. And Caleb Williams is starting to figure out some things, man. And the Bears, I got the Bears. Cardinals is interesting because they lead in their division. They 4-4, and they got all the tiebreakers. They beat the 49ers. They sit. Nobody thought they would be sitting at the top of the NFC West, but there they sit. With Kyler Murray, and they still trying to figure out how to get the ball to Marvin Harrison Jr., which is like, dude, get that dude the ball. He's open most every play. Give him the ball.
I understand, but hey, Jalen Johnson is quite a corner. So
Oh
that
yeah,
matchup that's going to be a nice, fun
he's a
cross
top
matchup
corner.
there.
Yeah,
That's a fun cross matchup right there, man. I'll be keeping my eye on that one.
yeah.
Jaquan Brisker's a really good young safety, and he's out. He's been out for a couple weeks.
Tom Bristol's yeah.
So the reason I think that matters a lot in this game because I think Trey McBride is emerging and becoming a young tight end in the league. That so much so, I think he kind of has a little field day tomorrow. Um, Problem with the Cardinals, man, they're like the team to pick when they're the underdog or against the spread. It's like they're a perfect team to upset the apple cart. But when
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
favored or when they're looked at favorably, I don't know, man. It's because I kind of do want to lean the Cardinals' way and just kind of go contrarian a little bit in terms of because I do see people leaning towards Chicago bouncing back, going in here, beating a Cardinals team that maybe isn't as good as their record resembles and all of that. I get it. I get it. But it's a tricky game, man. To me. To me, it's a tricky game. And an interesting one. It's one of the ones that's going to be on my screen tomorrow. So
Oh yeah.
uh, it's a fun one. I'm gonna just go Arizona. I'll be that. I'll be the contrarian on that one. Um, I think it's compelling cases for both sides. Chicago has every reason to bounce back. Tyreek Stevenson did something he shouldn't have done last week, and you got to move on from it as a group, as a team.
Yeah, yeah.
What it is.
I couldn't remember that kid's name, but I was like,
Mhm.
dude, you over there talking to the fan. The ball's actually the play is in play, and you come on,
Yeah,
you
I
can't do
think.
that, man.
Yeah, you can't do that. I think Chicago got to find a way to get DJ Moore involved a lot in this game. Arizona's going. They're at home. They're going to try to pound the football with James Conner and set a
James
certain
Conner,
type
man.
of tone. Then once they're able to establish that tone, then they'll start throwing to Trey McBride, and I can see a scenario where Arizona just starts rolling.
Okay.
Um, Kyler Murray, man, that dude there. Once he decides, and he doesn't always decide for some reason, but once he decides, I just want to run around and make everybody chase me.
Yeah, yeah,
Things get interesting
get
once he
real
decides to get in that mode. So
real interesting. You're
if that's
correct,
the
sir.
Kyler Murray that shows up tomorrow, man, that
Yeah,
game gonna be real interesting, real fast because
yeah,
um, he has the ability to really turn a game, and maybe he's motivated by the guy who's on the other side at the end of the day. Number one picks,
yeah,
making Riley connections.
yeah,
Um, you
yeah,
know,
yeah, yeah.
something to getting your juices going and competitive.
They both played in Oklahoma. That's for sure. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, they both played in Oklahoma. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. So
that's
I say we get fun Kyler Murray running around, throwing the ball deep. I say we get fun Kyler Murray tomorrow, and I'll take fun Kyler Murray and the Arizona Cardinals. But I also think the Bears will have some success on offense as well. So semi high scoring, fun game.
fun game.
Yeah,
Very
for
fun
sure.
game. I think it's a very fun game. All
Yeah.
right, we're on opposite sides. I think it's gonna be a fun game. I think I got the Bears, you got the Cardinals, man. We'll see, man. Ding 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 ding. Yeah, I'm gonna find that sound bite. We'll disagree. We're gonna talk about that one. We're
Yeah.
on opposite sides. Okay, that's the first 305 game. The second 305 game. It's an interesting game too because it's a lot of times the games have storylines, and sometimes it's bigger than the actual game on the field. I don't think it's going to be much of a game, but I do realize it's a storyline. You got the Jacksonville Jaguars traveling to Lincoln Financial Field to play the Philadelphia Eagles. We know that's the Doug Peterson Bowl. Doug Peterson coached there, won a Super Bowl at Philly. Now he's the coach of Jacksonville. He's actually, got fired from Philadelphia for some reason or another 2 years after winning a Super Bowl. That's an interesting thing to me, but it happened. Or maybe 3 years after they won in 17, he got fired after 20. Yeah, that's right, three years after. And now he's coaching Jacksonville and maybe on his way to being out of the door there too, because that's a very talented team. Although they've got a few injuries here or there. Nobody looked at the Jacksonville Jaguars at the beginning of the season and thought they were a team that would be, lottery, bound. And that's kind of where they're headed right now if things don't, take a turn. And I just don't see that happening. This week they are 2-6, okay, and the Eagles are 5-2. And injury front, you know, and the thing that's screaming out, Trevor Lawrence has not had a good season. Okay, has not had a good season. I mean, that's a kid they just paid $55 million to, and he's not had a good season. I think he's got what 11 touchdowns and 4 interceptions. He's not throwing the ball well, not having good completion percentages. Um, just not doing well at all. And of course, like I said, they've got injuries in the defensive backfield and linebackers rooms. They've had some injuries there, which has contributed to them being stumbling out of the gate the way they have. And so, when you start paying people, and especially a quarterback, and because that's always going to be the high ticket items, the quarterback,
Mhm.
and then you don't do well, somebody got to pay for that. And it's usually the head coach. They're going up against the Eagles. We know that Nick Sirianni is under some fire himself. And if they're 5-2. If they somehow stumble to like say 9-8 or something like that, I could see where they would fire him because that's just the way the Philadelphia Eagles roll. But they're playing well right now, and they've started to putting stacking some wins together, much to my chagrin. I don't got no love for the Eagles, but football
Yes,
wise, man, I gotta call a spade, man. Probably the best pair of wide receivers matched together, talent wise, in terms of matching their, what you call it, the yin to the yang, and how they kind of mesh together with AJ and Devontae, and then you add Saquon Barkley to the mix. if you scheme it and call it right, man, I don't know how you stop them. Uh, just being honest, I don't know how you stop them. So yeah, I got the Eagles winning. It would sure make my day if they took an L tomorrow.
Yeah, they not gonna take it out tomorrow.
I don't see it happening though. I don't see it.
No, man, they not. Jacksonville's become a medicine team, unfortunately.
Mm,
So, other teams look at a medicine team and say, this is where we get well, get right, get everybody involved, get team, get a good team morale victory. Um, the Lions did that against the Titans last week. They had a fun game. They made sure everybody got a score, got their morale up. I think this is kind of that to a lesser extent. I don't know if they're gonna put up 52 points, but it'll definitely be, one of those let's get everybody involved. Let's make everybody happy type of game for Philly. Jacksonville, not for lack of trying. I think I wouldn't say credit, but they've made efforts, continuous efforts over the years to spend money and draft and attempt to get impact players on that team. They've made those efforts, and it all hasn't culminated into success, consistent success. Excuse me, but they've tried. They've taken their swings. Um, right now, they're in sale mode. They, couple. Cam Robinson was dealt to the Vikings, so their starting left tackle was dealt.
yeah,
Lost Christian Kirk to injury last week. They've been ravaged by injuries in general for most
golly,
of the
when it
year.
rains, it pours. My goodness, you're right, man.
Yeah,
It's
I
gracious.
mean that's a team that's tried it. They've tried to be a winner. They tried to put a winner around Trevor.
Yeah,
There's some weird stuff going on with Travis
Travis
Etienne.
Etienne.
I don't know why he's sort of been phased out of that offense for whatever
Yeah, they're
reason.
going with Tank Bigsby. Now, if they played that right, that's a good thunder and lightning backfield. What are you doing? You could actually run that. That's what teams are doing. You know?
Well, it would make more sense if he's on a different team Tuesday morning while he's sort of been phased out.
Yeah.
Try to keep him healthy for trade or whatnot. But um, yeah, the Jaguars are they're in that quandary zone, man. You quote unquote have your franchise QB in terms of the fact that you paid him, but you spent money, you tried to be good, but it just hasn't worked out. Um,
Yeah.
we're doing a pick 'em show and they're not winning this game, so I'm not picking them to win. Whatever the spread is, I think the Philly Eagles cover it, and yeah, I just Jaguars they're in a spot right now, so
They're in a spot, man.
probably probably see a couple more of their players get sent out in the next 3 days. It's just where they are, man.
That's where they are. All right, man. We both got that. We both got the Eagles winning that. And man, I hope.
Well, I will
All
say
right,
this
man.
because I found it weird because before we leave this game at least.
Okay, go
I
ahead.
saw the report earlier in the week, or at least when it happened. I remember the report that Brian Thomas Jr. something happened with his chest, and he would be out for a couple weeks.
I did see that.
Then I
I was
looked
looking
at
at the injury report.
I looked at the injury report, and he's actually on schedule to potentially play tomorrow. So it's like, oh
Which
boy,
is it, right?
yeah, which is it type of thing? Because he out of a season that's going bad, he's a bright spot for sure.
Yeah, of course.
Um, I don't know how he went from being out a
He's
couple
considered.
weeks.
Not to cut you off. He's considered day to day.
Yeah,
As with a chest contusion.
right.
Um,
Well, I don't know the depths of that, so
yeah.
but a chest contusion, I guess, wouldn't sound like something that'll keep a person out for weeks off the field. So maybe it's just they kind of
Contusion is a funny is a it's elaborate word for bruise, isn't it? Isn't a contusion
Yeah,
a bruise?
honestly, yeah. So
Okay.
maybe they kind of just jumped the gun and misjudged the severity early on. But I will say if he's actually gonna play tomorrow, and they were without Evan Ingram for a large chunk of the season,
Right.
and then they recently got him back, and
Right. Right.
he's definitely the security blanket for Trevor. Trevor plays better when he has Ingram, so I mean, at the end of the day, if you're trotting out Brian Thomas Jr., Gabe Davis, Evan Ingram, Tank Bigsby, you figure out how to incorporate ETN in the pass game. Could I see them putting up some points in this game? Possibly. So I just wanted to add that caveat is, your young stud number one receiver, if he's playing and you got Ingram, hey, go up there and make it interesting. Philly's susceptible to giving up, big plays and whatnot.
Of
But
course.
um, it's also the matter of Jalen Carter. So, he could very well just decide to ruin Trevor Lawrence's evening. And that would be the end of that. So,
Yeah.
yeah, man.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you giving me hope and everything, but oh no, I need some other stuff to happen. But no, that's how that. But here, let's go on with that game. Here to me, this is the best game of the day right here. You got the Lions going to Green Bay. I know you said it might not be an aesthetically put because I thought I look at that game like I looked at the Chargers and Browns game. In an area up north, December, November, probably going to be a little, not a pleasant game to watch. This is an interesting game because you got the Lions and the Packers are two teams that's fighting for the division lead. And they're probably two of the best teams in the NFC. Actually, I might could say they might be the two best teams in the NFC. And I know the Vikings are in there too, but Vikings got injuries that concerns. I know we got, he's dealing with Christian Darrisaw. We'll talk about that when we talk about the Vikings game later. But that was kind of interesting how that went down, whatever. But you got the Lions and the Packers, and that's going to be interesting because you got it on the frozen. It's not going to be frozen, but it might be sloppy, it might be soggy, it might be a little bit of that. Um, the Lions, man, I think might have the most complete offense in football. I mean, in terms of, I think they got the best offensive line in football. I think Jared Goff. I don't think he's the best quarterback in the NFL, but I think he's having maybe the best quarterback season so far. I think he's had a couple of games where he may only had like three incomplete passes. One he didn't have any. Uh, I mean, what are you gonna do with that? I think one game he went 19 for 19. Another game he was like, I think for us he was 25 for 28. I mean, goodness. And then you got Oman Ross St. Brown, and you ain't gonna have Jameson Williams. So you just have to break. You just move up Tim Patrick. Coming out for multiple leg injuries to be a contributor to the Detroit Lions. And I think they got the best 1-2 duo in the backfield with Jameer Gibbs and David Montgomery. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
man, Lions is loaded, man. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
But the Packers are no slouch either. I don't know what condition Jordan Love's going to be in. I know they say maybe a game time decision. Uh, but
He's playing. He's playing, Fred. He's in. He's
playing
gonna play.
okay. But I'm gonna tell you something. Lafleur is such a schemer. He could actually put Malik Willis out there and get some plays. Hey man, he made Malik Willis look like a serviceable quarterback, man. You get my vote, man. Got Josh Jacobs. Josh Jacobs is having a. If it wasn't for what Derrick Henry is doing in Tennessee, you'd be talking about what Josh Jacobs is doing for the Packers. Okay. This is gonna be an interesting game, man. I guess the Lions really, to me, are the best team. I know they're missing Aiden Hutchinson. Um, Packers are tough at home though. Packers are no Detroit's favored by 3, so I'm gonna go with Detroit. Wouldn't be surprised if the Packers upset them though, but I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with the Lions.
Yeah, I think this game is going to be played, man, within the numbers. It's going to be a lot of smash mouth on both sides. Rainy conditions
Both
are
teams like to do
projected.
that too.
Yeah, I think both teams stay within their comfortable confines. This is one of those games on paper. At one point in time, it felt like okay, spicy because we get a lot of action. I don't know that either team, depending if the weather's real bad, man. I do think it's something to be said for Detroit having to play their first game
Yeah,
outdoors in this spot. So
yeah.
for a team
Oh,
that's
this
got
their first outdoor game.
yeah.
Oh, I did not know that. That's good observation. That's why you the dude you are, man. I didn't pick up on that.
No, I'm not taking credit for that. I heard somebody else say it.
Yeah,
Um, I didn't know that either until I heard somebody else say that earlier this week. But
yeah.
that does matter though to me. It matters a lot. I'm actually going. Although I'll say this, although I don't think the Packers are a better team than Detroit, I think the Packers get this one. I think they're at home. I think
Yeah. Oh,
they'll use the conditions to their advantage. Um, I think both teams can have success when they need it. You know, as far as putting the ball in the quarterback's hands. Um, Slugfest, man. It's one of those like 24-23 Packers snuck out of there with a win at home type of games to me. Um, that's what I'm projecting for them. That's where I'm at. I just think they figure out how to get it done, man. This is kind of one of those games where I think both teams try to pound, 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 and go over the top. And that's usually Jamison Williams' bread and butter for the Lions offense. They won't have him tomorrow. And, Christian Watson perpetually injured but healthy right now. And, he could make a big difference in this game
make
as
a
far
big
as
difference. Yeah.
being that guy for Green Bay. So I'm going to go Green Bay. Go Green Bay
Oh,
for the upset.
oh, oh,
Quote
oh,
unquote
oh. We on the opposite side,
upset. Yeah.
huh? Huh? What's it? What's it?
Cue the music. Yeah.
All right, man. All right, all right. We gotta fight. We gotta fight. All right,
Yeah.
man. I ain't mad at that pick because I was kind of sneaky thinking Packers, but I was like, man, Detroit offense is so freaking flawless. They are flawless offensively, man. Because it's like they got something for every counter you got. You want to play it? Okay, we're gonna go. We're gonna play coverage. Oh, they'll just pound. It just came to me. You know
Mm.
they I hate to bring this up, but you know they beat your boys last week 54-7 or whatever it is, and Jared Goff threw for 85 yards.
Oh yeah, I watched it. Bad.
80 freaking 5 yards. And they went, what was it, 52-7?
He got a late pointless touchdown, but it was like 52-14.
52,
Yeah,
85 passing yards.
yeah, it's bad. I think the thing is though, with uh, if it gets down to having to put the ball in the air.
Hey, TK, keep talking. I gotta check something. I can hear you. Keep talking. Keep
No,
cooking.
I wait on you to come back, man. Cause
No. Keep talking. I'm right here, but I'm just gotta
uh,
step out of the camera
I
shot.
got you. I got you. I got you.
Keep going.
So yeah, man. while I think Green Bay is a little bit susceptible, like any secondary, they also lead the league in takeaways. Xavier McKinney has been a revelation. Um, he totally transforms the back end of that secondary. Now, whether Jair Alexander's in or not, I think matters a ton here. So I'll check and see if he's in. He's at least questionable, so it's possible that he's in. But I just think when we come down to like, you know, a threat of a game like this could be, maybe it's just a big play from Xavier McKinney that changes the outcome type of thing. So um, where I think Detroit will miss Jamison Williams specifically in this matchup is also where I think Detroit might feel it the most, trying to make a play down the field and putting something up for grabs for Xavier McKinney. Which could also be said the same on the opposite end of the spectrum with Brian Branch, who's breaking out himself and quickly establishing himself as one of the top young safeties. So same could be said for Love putting the ball in the air with Brian Branch around.
Yeah.
So it's an interesting, fun matchup as far as tit for tat. I'm running out of good reasons to pick Green Bay, so I'm standing on the fact that I'm just picking them because I feel like they probably get it done.
Good deal. Hey man,
Um,
speaking of them two safeties, where they go to school at?
of course, Bama, man.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah,
just
yeah,
wondered.
yeah.
I just said Xavier McKinney and
Oh yeah,
Brian
oh
Branch.
yeah,
Yeah.
oh
Oh, yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. That's right. That's
yeah, yeah, yeah. That Bama factory, yeah, that
right.
Saban factory for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah. Good
would
game.
say,
I got
man,
that game. I got 2 stars by the way. I think that's the best game of the day in terms of like
hey,
when you talk about
it's
quality of teams that are playing each other.
gonna be a good one, man, for sure. I would say, man, on a side note to this game, I know it's all pie in the sky-ish, but when you watch Detroit play, man, I mean, what's a better fit for Max Crosby than that Detroit team? I mean, who knows what it would take to make something like that happen, but man, it would be nice to see Max Crosby. Just for the sake of NFL fans, there'll be plenty of fan bases that don't want to see that happen, but
Right.
I just think about the identity of Detroit and the way they like to play their style. I mean, that dude is built to play for that team.
Yeah.
So who knows? But will be will be nice to if that blockbuster notificate Adam Schefter notification came across
Sometime,
everybody's desk.
sometime Tuesday afternoon. You saying?
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. That'd be pretty cool, man.
Yeah, that would be. That would be cool. That would be real cool. All right, man. We splitting on that one. We fighting on that one. So yeah, he going Packers. I'm going Lions. We'll see what happens there. But should be a good game. Should be a good game. Okay, another good game at the 325 spot. This is the second game of the 325 slot. Is the Rams at the Seahawks. Uh,
Mhm.
and the Seahawks are tied with the 49ers and the Cardinals atop the NFC West, with the Rams trying to close in and trying to join them. And of course, they get a lot of their guys, got a lot of their guys back last week. They got Cooper Cup back, and him and Nakua both playing. And maybe they, in some point in the season, they'll get some of their offensive linemen back. Matt Stanford starting to like put some things together. They got a real kind of opportunistic defense. With what's the kid's name? Is it Bryant? Is it Bryant Young? I think that's his name.
Brian
Uh,
Young,
huh?
just Brian Young.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He's they're and they did something I didn't think they was gonna do, man. They beat the Vikings last Thursday night, and I'm like, wow, they was able to do that. And they got benefit of a missed face mask at the end of that game, but don't let that mess you up. Don't let that mess
Yeah,
you up.
NFL, man, not what they call it, not beating the allegations. That's what the kids say.
Yeah,
It's hard
yeah,
to beat those rigged allegations when you got
pretty
stuff
much,
like
man.
that.
Pretty
Man.
much, pretty
That was
much.
crazy. That was a crazy one.
Like y'all see everything else, 'cause I know y'all saw a holding on another play, and then you didn't see that guy had this bottom half of that guy's face mask. Wow. Now, granted, I don't think they still win the game. I still think it would have went how it went, but you still call what you call. That you can't not call that.
Yeah, you
That
can't not
also
call
gave them
that.
2 points. Did it not?
You did. You can't call that, man.
You gotta
You
call that,
can't.
man.
Excuse me.
You gotta call that.
You definitely got to call that.
So, but anyway, man. So you got the Rams at the Seahawks. Seahawks have kind of been a mixed bag. I think DK Metcalf is going to play this week. I know he's kind of had some things going on with, I think it was meniscus, if I'm not mistaken.
He's out, man.
Is he out?
Yeah.
I thought I saw that he was going to try to play this week. I thought I saw that.
Nah, he's out.
Missed the game due to injury for the second time in his 6-year career. He was sidelined weekend. Mike McDonald said he hopes the wideout hopes he will be back on the field. Okay. Okay. All right. I
Yeah.
misread that. I thought he was saying he was. He hoped that he would be back.
No, I just read something. I was
Yeah.
looking at my injury reports up here. I just read something that said he's not going. So
Okay. That's good information to have right there. I'm going Rams.
yeah, I was going Rams before that, but I just think the Rams on the upswing, whereas Seattle's kind of they've been ravaged by injuries on their defense, but DK's in and out the lineup. Kenneth Walker's in and out the lineup. It's hard to get a rhythm going. Um, I think the Rams see an opportunity here now that they got their guys back. I think they go on a little run. They get started, with that big Vikings win, and I think they keep the momentum going here. And could look up in a couple of weeks, man, and NFC West got real spicy with the Rams, head above water again, and C-Mac back for San Fran. We'll see if San Fran could pull off some type of deal for an additional receiver or whatnot. But without it, yeah, that NFC West race could get real interesting down the stretch if the Rams and the Cardinals can keep it up, keep the winning ways up. So I think the Rams keep it going here for sure.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Yeah, I'm not seeing it. That's it here. It's here. Yeah, you're right. DK Metcalf is out. Noah Fant is out. Tight end. Ernest Jones. He used to play for the Rams. I remember him playing for the Rams. I think he was playing for y'all for a minute, and then he went back to the. He used to play for the Rams, and they traded him to the Titans, and then he's back to the Seahawks, so back in that division. Yeah, okay. They got a couple of guys out, but said DK's out. No Boom's out for the season. He's on IR. That's it. That's their tackle. But yeah, I got the Rams. Like I said, I think they're starting to put it together. And Stafford. And people sleeping on Kyron Williams, man. Kyron Williams is a good. I watched it's a little documentary they had about him and his mom and how he did in Notre Dame. I was watching that and stuff. That's a very interesting story, man. That kid's made out of the right stuff, man. I like that kid, man. Um,
Mm-hmm.
he's if you go play the Rams, McVay's gonna run the ball. I know they think he's pass happy, he throws it up and down the field. No, low key, McVay likes to run that ball too.
Oh, for sure.
He likes
Yeah,
to
you
run
got
that
to.
ball, man. So
Well, that's just that how that tree works, man. That Shanahan tree works, man. They run the ball and they commit to the run and they spread you out and yeah,
yeah,
all of that.
He really wants to run the ball, and you figure, oh, you got him the cool, and then you actually they leading receiver is Tutu Atwell because them dudes been out so long. He got like 25 catches. He's the leading receiver of them, and you would think, oh yeah, he got Puka and uh 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 what's his name back. You got Cooper Cup back. You think, oh yeah, they're gonna throw it 45 times. No, no. Kyron Williams just look more likely to get 20 carries than for them to then Matthew Stafford throw it 35, 40 times. Okay, that's more
You
likely.
just balance it out, man. You get Kyrie going. You run a couple crossers to your receivers, and then you go over the top to Tutu Atwell. It's just a well balanced approach. Kind of sound like the Niners, don't it?
West Coast, man. It's that West
Yeah,
Coast stuff, man. That
yeah,
Shanahan tree, man. They all studied at the same foot, man. The same foot of the same tree. They're all part of that.
yeah,
Man, I got the Rams,
yeah,
man. Rams are just a fun team to watch play football too.
absolutely. They are. They
They're
are a
just a
good one.
fun team to watch play football, man.
Yeah,
And,
they're a good
so,
one.
anyways, yeah, I got the Rams. Rams actually favored by a point and a half. All right, and so Sunday night you got the and I got both games stuck in there. I don't know why I had them in there. You got the Colts at the Vikings. Colts with the quarterback change. We don't know how that's going to affect the team because it was done kind of under cloak and dagger. Nobody knew they was going to do it. Other players found out on social media. Oh, coach making a quarterback change. Nobody knew, and I just think that that's like we knew you knew that guy was a project. That dude had a ton of like raw talent. You can't teach 6'4", 6'5" and a half and runs a 4.43. You can't teach that. And you knew there's okay. We can work out the rough edges. That dude's gonna be a gym. We can just kind of stand off some of that. He can be a gym, but it takes time to do that. It takes time to do that. A lot of these players, and this is my little stand on the soapbox thing here. I'm gonna do a short version here.
You getting them Uncle Fred rant? Let's go.
This thinking as soon as I draft a guy, he's ready to come out the box, ready to use. All I gotta do is put batteries in this, ready to go. Stop thinking that, okay? Especially with quarterbacks. Stop thinking that. The draft is a crapshoot. It just is. Even first round picks, 80% of them don't never sign their second contract with the team that drafted them. So 80% of the drafted first round picks don't make the team. It's a crapshoot. You never know how it's gonna go. So yeah, you drafted the quarterback. You knew he was gonna need a little work. So you got a veteran backup. So that's fine. But don't jerk that guy around though. You knew what you had, and you weren't winning those championships no way. What's the rush? Let that guy develop. All right, man. I'm done, man. I get off of it now. Let that guy develop, man. And now you messing around with that dude's confidence. Now, confidence is a very fleeting thing. Once a player has that, and you lose that. You have a hard time getting that back when you took that kid's confidence.
I definitely agree with that. It definitely
So,
disrupted the process over there.
all right, man. I get off my soapbox, man.
I mean, we'll see what Indy do, man. I mean, you made the move. It is what it is now. So it's just
And it ends for now the rest of the season. I'm like, really? The rest of the season? Okay, man. No, it's for the rest of the season. So basically, you're not that dude not getting no more meaningful for what? You three? Go ahead, man.
yeah. I mean, the only thing to do now is just open up the offense. Going with Flacco.
Yeah.
Flacco. Just open up the offense, man. Get the ball downfield. You got Josh Downs, Alec Pierce, guys that like to go over the top. Pittman thrives underneath. It's just they feel like they're a team that can make some noise right now. Whether or not that's true, or whether or not you and I feel like it, they seem to feel that way. So let's see. Uh, Here you go, prime time spot. You got flexed into it. Um, let's see what you got. You got JT in the backfield, one of the best O lines consistently every year, year in and year out. Defense is very questionable. Defense is gonna definitely give up a lot of big plays in this game. I think JJ gonna do JJ things and have a field day. Jettas is who he is. TJ Hawkinson's back for this game, which only adds another layer or element to that passing game for Minnesota.
Right.
And if you wanted to, put Flacco in that spot and open up your offense and take the challenge and see what you got, well, this is the game to do it. Minnesota, high powered. They need a win. Definitely need to get back on the winning side of things. They're at home. It's prime time. I'm going Minnesota, but I will say, Indy, if you are the team you think you are, this is the type of game you need to go get. So let's see if you can do it.
I'm gonna say this. I think uh, I got a lot of respect for Brian Flores. He one of my like favorite like defensive coach. One of my favorite coaches. Period. I like what he stand for. Um, uh, I think putting a statue quarterback in a defense that he getting ready to scheme against. I think this could be it. This could be ugly, man.
Yeah,
That's a good defense, man. That's a good defense.
I hear you, man. That's also a bet, man. It ain't too much Flores is gonna throw at him he hadn't seen before. He's
True.
protected by a very, very stellar offensive line. I get the move, I guess, in terms of that's the type of offensive line that can keep an older quarterback upright. And as far as blitzing, I mean, Flacco's seen it. He's been around the block, man. A lot of the spas and stunts that Flores runs successfully. It's not all, it can be and has been a recipe for success in certain scenarios, but there's also something to be said for guys that just know what's coming. Um, I think Flacco probably belongs in that tier of things than the other way, but um, he'll throw it down the field, and that's
Oh, he
where
definitely gonna throw it down the field. That's for sure.
that's where Minnesota can be susceptible because of a lot of the stunts and the blitzes. They can be prone to give up big plays down the field, and we'll see if it works. But we do know he's gonna do it. So we'll see if Downs and Pierce and Pittman can get down the field and connect on those deep shots. But they're gonna be attempted for sure. And if so, then we got a game. And if not,
Well, and on top of that, you can always turn around and hand the thing to Jonathan Taylor. He's playing right.
yeah, of course. I mean, and that's also what they'll
Yeah,
do.
man. That's
Because
yeah, yeah.
you send them and you stun them enough, and you know the right play call, the right play call could you know turn into a JT screen to the house. So you never know.
Correct. That is correct. That is so correct. But I'm going Vikings. We had a chat in here, a contributor to the show, Roland Estrada. Man, appreciate you watching the show. He says Vikings. We're right with you, buddy. We're right there. We say Vikings also because we think the Vikings. I think the Vikings going to be mad for one thing for letting that game get away from them last Thursday, and they done had what 10 days to prepare. Yeah, you see, preparation time and on certain coaches in preparation it works for them and it don't work for others. I don't even know why we're back into that. I dipped into some other stuff that what are you talking about? What are you talking about? That we passed that. We passed them now. Okay, moving on. Moving on. Let's see here. That's okay. The Monday night game, and I know you got a big, maybe I'm gonna tell you something. 2 weeks ago, this was going to be an interesting game. This week is not.
Ooh, Oh yeah, it was. I understand the
A few weeks
schedule
ago
making
before,
this.
Mike Evans probably should have caught a touchdown pass against the Ravens. That was in his hand. He catches that 100 times out of 100, and that hamstring bit him, and he didn't. Of course, I think he's not out for the season, but he's going to be out for several weeks, right?
He'll be back in a few weeks.
Yeah, but I do know that Chris Godwin is done for the season, and it was unnecessary because we were talking. I meant to mention this when I was talking to you about the Vikings because we just talked about the Vikings. You do know that whole Christian Darrisaw thing didn't have to happen, right?
Oh no, I don't know how he got hurt.
I'm getting ready to tell you. The Vikings, it was the go to halftime. They had the ball on like their own like 7 or 8 yard line. You just kneel on the ball and go into halftime. No, they decided to run some kind of crazy play, and Christian Darrisaw gets hurt on that play right before halftime when they should have just knelt on it.
Mm-hmm.
Christian Darrisaw might be the best left tackle playing right now.
Yeah.
Get off my soapbox. I'm not ranting right now. I'm just saying, and I'm saying that to say that what does that have to do with the Tampa Bay game? Did not Todd Bowles Chris, Chris Godwin in there trying to score a meaningless touchdown in a game you was down 10?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, man.
Sometimes you got to know when the journey's over. And that's all I'm going to say about that. So this game in particular, you got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers teams who showed a lot of promise. You got Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. That team, it had Baltimore kind of scared there a little bit, man. They was playing with them. They was playing with them, and then did they win last week? Who did they play last week? Who did the Buccaneers play last week? They played last week. They played last week, right?
I do not think
Or
they
were they
did.
off? They may have been off.
No, I think they played. I don't think they won though. They lost to Atlanta.
That's correct. They could have won that game. It's like 31-26. They could have won that game. They're going to scrap now. Todd Bowles will have them play in the scrapping. The defense is, opportunistic. They're going to play. I don't know if Vita Vea is playing. Probably should look at the scouting report here. Whatchamacallit report. I don't think it matters. You playing, the anointed one, as you like to say.
Air Mahomes.
Yeah, with his new toy. DeAndre Hopkins got his new toy to play with. I think maybe even, let me quit guessing, man. I got the thing right here. I'm going to say, I want to say Juju Smith-Schuster might be back this week.
What?
Not sure. Scouting report here. And
no, he is not.
he is not. He is out. He is out. Isaiah Pacheco is still out. Okay. So Pat will only throw 2 touchdown passes instead of 3. Okay, fine. They playing Tampa Bay, like I say, you without Mike Evans, you without Chris Godwin. They made a game of it because I can't think of what that guy's name is, but he used to be the quarterbacks coach for the Rams. So there's a couple of Rams guys in this thing. The Zach Robinson is the offensive coordinator of the Falcons, and I can't think of what this guy's name is. That's the offensive coordinator of the Buccaneers. He comes from the McVay tree also.
Okay.
Amen. And so that's what good coaching does. Okay, you take away our top 2 receiving threats, and so you look at the box score, and you see Rashad White, I think is his name, with about 6-7 catches. You see Bucky Irvin with about 5-6 catches. And I'm trying to think, there's another back that they had. I can't think of his name, but you see they improvised, and they was able to keep that game close. They actually could have won that game. Buccaneers actually could have won that game. So what I'm saying is that they're going to give Kansas City a game because I just think that they will play a smart, clean game, and it will be a lot better game if you had Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, but that you don't have them. I don't see how you go against Pat. I know they're gonna lose a game somewhere in this thing. I'm thinking next week when they play Buffalo, that's my game circle that they may lose, but I don't think
They play Denver next week.
they play Denver next week. Okay,
Mhm.
well maybe whatever week after that they play. They play them. I think that might be their first loss. They don't lose this week. I got them winning Monday night and they go to 8-0. I got 10. I got.
Yeah, I mean, come on, man. Of course,
I know it's the
Chiefs
anointed one.
won.
I know you always on that anointed one. Tick tick. And I'm like, no,
Chiefs at home.
he's playing pretty well,
Now,
man, around him right now.
I'll say this: Chiefs always get a stupid loss. They always get a loss that, like, okay, you know, it's competitive and you lost, but then they always got that stupid loss.
Like that loss,
So,
they lost. Was it to Denver last year? And they like scored like 3 points or 6 points or something like that.
so
Yeah,
they had two stupid losses last year to Denver and Vegas.
right
Um,
before Christmas, wasn't it?
yeah, so I kind of got that Chiefs Broncos next week circled as like, here's that potential stupid loss for the Chiefs,
Okay,
especially because I expect them to win this one,
okay.
going to that one undefeated. So yeah, looking ahead, they got the Bills in Buffalo the week after. So as we looking for the first loss, that next week is on my radar. It's like, that could be the caught a slipping game, and we was looking ahead to Buffalo.
I could see that happening. I definitely could see that happening.
But
Definitely could see that happening.
yeah, man. As far as this game, it's unfortunate that Godwin's out. I, I think that would be more manageable if Mike Evans wasn't also out right now. So, you know, just a double whammy on that. It's just too much to overcome for Tampa. But like they did last week, I still think they make this game interesting enough. I think they compete defensively. So, you know, the Chiefs don't really run away and hide from nobody anymore. It's just not their style of play. So,
No,
for the sake of our viewer experience Monday, I think it'll be close, you know, score wise. It'll give the presentation that, you know, Tampa has a chance, but we all know what's coming.
of
The
course.
inevitable.
I,
The
I,
inevitable.
I think I told you this last week when we were talking. We didn't actually get on the air. We had technical difficulties. We had a whole show lined up for you guys last week. We didn't get a chance to do it, but I'll
Yeah.
tell you when I'm watching the Chiefs play now, it's almost like watching like it's circa 19. I mean, circa 2017 or 2016. And I'm watching New England.
Yeah.
That's what that's what I was like. I'm watching that. I'm like I'm watching New England Patriots. Just kind of play it close to the Bears, play good defense, run the football, make a play here or there. The game's 17-15, fourth quarter. Tom Brady makes a couple of throws. They win the game. And it's like that. It's like that's the same script. The games
Yeah.
have turned into that now. It's like they play good defense. They run the football. They do all the fundamental things. Every now and then, Patrick will throw up one of the behind the back things or whatever. He'll do one of them every now and then, just to let you know I can do them things. But for the most part, I'm gonna run it. I'm gonna throw it. And I'm gonna break tackles. I'm gonna get the open, make a first down when I shouldn't have to. Shouldn't have to. And somebody's probably they should tackle me, won't tackle me, and they'll let me get 15, 20 more yards.
So the thing about the Chiefs, man, because I think we clear on them winning this game, even if it starts looking shaky, let alone Tampa gets a lead and gives the appearance like they might win, we know it's not happening. But the next 2 weeks, I think finally midway through the season, we get a chance to actually learn about this team. because you got the Broncos coming in next week, and then you're going to Buffalo. I think that 2 game stretch is going to give us a little indicator of who Kansas City really is. Um, but the problem, even in that regard, man, is like, at some point, man, this team is going to add Isaiah Pacheco and Hollywood Brown to that offense, and what you
You
gonna
know,
do?
they had them guys. Good luck, man. We got a chat in here. It says Raiders played well against them. They did play well against them last week. They had a lead in that game. You know, it said second game next week the Chiefs will lose. Yeah, they're gonna lose eventually. I mean, they're gonna lose. They're gonna lose eventually. And
Yeah,
and just to what TK just said a while ago, the Chiefs always lose a game in the season that it's like a you like the big shoulder dog. They lost that game.
yeah,
It's always a game like that. So
yeah.
and they got going 17-0. That's not happening. The league don't want that to happen. It's like they're not
Nah,
that I think the league influences any of the games or nothing like that. I don't think that happens. Um, that don't happen. That never happens, man. Never at all. Never at all. All
right.
right, we got the Chiefs and maybe the Buccaneers making it kind of close, making it kind of interesting, making it a fun game to watch maybe and whatnot. So that you don't go to sleep at halftime and it's 31-7. It's not going. Chiefs ain't scoring 31 points in no game this year.
I'm
Yeah, I said
actually
that.
really, I'm
I
actually
said
really.
that. I said that.
Well,
Chiefs
what did you
ain't
say?
scoring 31 points in no game this year.
Well, don't be too quick on that, man. They play the Panthers in about 3 weeks, so come
Oh,
on now.
well, they play them. That's right. They do play that division. Yeah, okay. Never mind. Never mind. Never mind.
Just
All right,
saying.
man. We also would pick the game the next week because we're not gonna be back on before then. So we're gonna pick the Thursday night game and something that you did not know uh, money line or whatchamacallit, point spread on that one because you ain't played this game yet. You don't know who's going to be injured. You don't know all that stuff. So it's going to be the Cincinnati Bengals at the Baltimore Ravens. I think by the time that game comes around, I think maybe Cincinnati might be not. We know that Cincinnati might not be where they're what they had envisioned their team to be, and then Baltimore may be hitting their stride. I know it's a divisional game, and them games always gonna be so close. They played them about 2 weeks ago, and it was like 38-31 or something like that. Something like
It
that.
was a
Went to overtime.
classic, man. It was a. Does the NFL have a term? NBA got hardwood classic. Whatever the terminology is for the NFL, that belonged in there. Like a gridiron classic, I guess. It's a
Yeah,
gridiron classic.
yeah,
I don't know if we getting that again, but should get something similar, adjacent at least. It'd be a fun game. I think Baltimore gonna win again, but yeah, it's just more paramount for Cincy to go ahead and take care of business against Vegas tomorrow because coming on a short week into Baltimore, yeah, you probably dropping that game. If T maybe the strategy with T Higgins is, hey, let's sit you down and let's try to tough out this win with Vegas so we can have you ready for Thursday. If that's the plan, I like it. As long as they win, give them an extra 4 days of rest on that quad. They walk in there with T Higgins. I think you get a fun game, which we all want, especially on Thursday games now. Um, but I can't. I just can't pick Cincinnati to win that in Baltimore. I think the one that was there for him was there for him in Cincy. That was the one to get, and
yeah,
they
yeah. It
they
was
like
there for him to get too. It was there for him.
they
He
let
get
Baltimore. So
it.
it's tough, but if we took a look at their schedule after that game, kind of running out of treadway, but at 4-6, you still kind of in it for at least for that last playoff spot type of thing. So it's not the end of the world for them to lose that game. But you know, they got a stretch here where you got Chargers, Steelers, Cowboys, Titans, Browns. You know, they got a lot of winnable games down the stretch, man. So um,
Let's see here. Yeah. Yeah, they got the Ravens, they have Chargers, Steelers. You know, they play the Steelers and Cowboys in back to back weeks. That's on Monday night too.
well, unfortunately, man, I hate to say it, but
Titans and then the Browns and then the Broncos. Broncos and yeah, there you go.
Cowboys, Titans, Browns is probably that stretch where they catch up on.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's the stretch where they get on the right side of the win column, man. So
yeah, yeah. Unfortunately, 12-9. Okay. All right. So those are the games, man. Those are our games for this week, man. We both in agreement with that. I don't know if I even picked it. I picked the Ravens. I just don't know that the Bengals win that game. I'm not because I know it'll be close because it's division rivals and they always play the games close. They know each other. Personnel is nothing that Baltimore's gonna do that they other than the Derrick Henry thing is it because that was the difference in the game last time. You know, it was tightness and then Derrick Henry only got 11 carries or whatever. And then next thing you know, damn, who out the field for like 80, 75 yards.
that's
And
what he
if
do.
he'd have known the dude was coming from the other side, he would have never caught it. That was a touchdown. This is what it is. I got the Ravens, man. So we're in agreement on that and everything. So yeah, those are our games this week, TK. It took us a while to get here. Took an interruption, had to shut down the site and then come back, restart. But we got through there. We
We
persevered, and
kept it going. We got there
we
for
was
sure.
able to come through. We didn't quit when it got tough. We persevered.
There it is.
There it is. Oh, I got another chat. What is it? What is it? They say, what is it? Da, 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 da. Oh yeah, he said got on late. Well, Roland, we was on, then we wasn't on, then we got back on. Just what it was, man. It was what it was. We you the stole everything. So when stuff don't go right, you got to fix the thing while it's flying. So the way it is, man. But appreciate you taking time out. What's your guys' take on the Cowboys Falcons? We picked the Falcons. I want to pick the Cowboys rolling. I bleed blue and silver, but they just got too much going on right now. Too many injuries. You got, stuff going on outside of it. It ain't got nothing to do with football. You got, and then on top of that, we just not playing football well right now, both offensively and defensively. Offensively, we can't seem to can't run the ball, and nobody's getting open. Don't all the windows are tight window throws. Dak's not making good decisions. He's throwing interceptions. It's not all his fault. A lot of it is his fault. Defensively, we can't stop nobody. Everybody rushes for 150 yards on us. I didn't see no way we could win it, Roland. I ain't see no way. So I picked the Falcons. Now, would I love to be right, be wrong? Oh, heck yeah. I'm coming on. If I'm wrong and the Cowboys win, I'm gonna find pom poms and I'm gonna shake them. I'm gonna do like this. I'm gonna find pom poms. Y'all hold me to that. Cowboys win. I'm doing that tomorrow. I just don't think it is. I don't even know what no pom poms are. But if the Cowboys win, I will go buy some pom poms and I'll get on camera and I'll stick pom poms. Okay. No,
I
I'm
would
not
love
going
to
to the
see
game.
that.
I'm not going to see that daggum show. I'm not going to see that. No, Roland. We had talked about it. Some of the church group wanted to go. I can't. I can't see it. I couldn't do it. Can't do it. I know some people that are going though, but I'm not going. Not going. Not going because I'm scared. I'm afraid of what I might see. And I'm like, I drove 200 miles to go see this. Flew an hour to go see this. Not throwing good money after bad, Roland. Not throwing good money after bad. Can't do it. Can't do it. Us regular folks can't do that kind of stuff. Anyway, any closing remarks, TK man?
Man, I'm glad we got it in, man. Got back to it.
Yeah,
Hopefully, we get a couple more of these in throughout the year, many as possible. So
yeah,
shout out to that, man. Shout out to that. Um, Uncle Fred Ranch, the channel, and everybody that's with you. You know,
yeah.
shout out to y'all, man.
All right, man. Well, that's it, man. I ain't got nothing to say, man. But just keep plugging away. You said happy football watching Sunday. And and nothing like a good afternoon. Like I said, take advantage these days when you get them because you're gonna look up one day and it's like January 20th and the season's over, and you'll
Goes
be
by fast.
and you'll be scratching like a dope fiend looking where's the game, where the games, where the games, where the games. Thank you, sir. God bless you too, man. Yeah, you don't yeah So I try to enjoy them as they come, man, and take it full advantage, take it all in. Try to do it, man, because this is the best time of the year for me. You got a little basketball coming in, man. This is the best. And the NBA kicking off too, man. Tipping off too. And it's like we're going to our second week of that, man. It's good. It's the best time of the year, man. Best time of the year, man. But man, that's all we got, man. Thank you guys for persevering with us, man, through the technical difficulties and all that kind of stuff, man. Please like, comment, subscribe. Anybody that was on the show today, share it with some other folks, man. Tell them, hey, man, every week, man, me and TK gonna try to do a video. Try to pick the games of the week with our little football knowledge, and then maybe once or twice during the week, I'm gonna come on with my cowboy stuff, and I'll try to lift up Cowboy Nation the best I can. I know it's a dark day right now. It's dark times right now. Dark times, but I'm gonna try to sprinkle whatever sunshine I got into it when I can. Might come on a little bit later today and see if I can talk something up. Maybe we'll see how it goes. But that's all we got, man. Like, comment, subscribe, become a part of the Uncle Fred Sports Experience. Guarantee you will not be disappointed. For my man TK, this is Uncle Fred. God bless. Catch you guys next week.